Stay tuned. Robinson, all the way in Switzerland, and you're tuning into the Black House Fire Radio, and you're listening to the African Diary Show with Cathy Madison. Stay tuned.
Take you to realize I don't know who to run to right now. I'm in something fire. I'm a safe, mercy out there. What are we doing, my dear, my dear? I surrender you myself, myself. My eyes are in the air, the air. Only the wings are the first time. What is the reason you do not have your whole piece of my eye? Are you acting for now? Are you doing this thing to survive? Are you taking the pictures of every memories of your life? What's the reason why I'm still out here? Take a give me one better thing or two. Make a nigga suit and tie like him, tie like you. So you don't know to try hard time and shoes. Is that you? What are we doing, my dear, my dear? I surrender myself, myself. In the air, the air. Only time waits are the difference. What is the reason you don't have a whole piece of my eye? Are you having fun while you doing this thing to survive? Are you taking the pictures of every memories of your life? What's the reason why I'm still around here?
Greetings and salutations, Master Robinson, all the way in Switzerland, and you're tuning into the Black House Fire Radio, and you're listening to the African Diary Show with Cathy. That's it.
Yes, a very good afternoon to everyone who is there with us. Karibuni sana to another episode of the African Diary Show. I'm hoping that you're doing great on this wonderful Thursday afternoon at 32 minutes or a half past 2 p.m. right here in Nairobi. You can as well. Is the time on your end as we're getting started with our show for today. Lawrence Moendo, I see you in the building. You're saying good after lunch, Katie. Good afternoon to you too, Lawrence Moendo. Shout out to Mr. Bad, I see you in the building. Karibu sana. And to all those who are just joining us, Karibuni sana. Shout out to all those who are with me on the radio station, those who are joining me on YouTube and Facebook. Karibuni sana once again. And I hope you feel free to get to interact with me and do let me know how your Thursday is going. And we started off our show with an amazing jam. That was Omalay
the jam was a reason. I hope you did get to jam onto it. And on today's episode, I want us to discuss about Russia and China that is apparently clashing with UK and the US over attacks on Houthi fighters, strikes on the Red Sea. Remember the last time we checked what was happening on the Red Sea? We had the Houthi fighters attacking ships coming from Israeli or heading to allies of the Israel country. And right now we are, the last time also I reported about the US and the UK launching attacks on the Houthi fighters on the Red Sea. So what is happening right now is that there has been a crash between Russia and China, between the US and the UK, and these people are clashing over the attacks on the Houthi fighters. Remember, Russia and China, they are on the side of the Houthi fighters. And in case you don't know who Houthi fighters are, this is a rebel group from Yemen. And in case you missed, or in case you don't understand why they are fighting, they are revenging on the lives lost during the Israel genocide of the Palestinians. So these people are revenging because they told the Israel to stop killing innocent people, but they didn't stop. So they are revenging on the genocide that was conducted on the innocent lives. So this is what is happening. And on today's episode, I want us to discuss about now Russia and China clashing with the US and the UK over the over attacks on the Houthi fighters. Later on, we shall be getting to see a video of Bill Cosby are trying to warn how white supremacy hides a black history from African people. Yes, we shall be getting to see a video of Bill Cosby trying to warn how white supremacy hides black history from Africans. And also we have other different news coming from Africa. We have Nana Akufo-Addo reshuffling his cabinet and sacking finance minister in Ghana. So we shall be getting to see that, and later on we shall be getting to see what is happening in Kenya. Yesterday there was a dark vigil that was happening in Kenya, and the dark vigil was to press for the end of femicide and to remember women who we lost during the femicide or in femicides. And yeah, there was a vigil. Remember yesterday people celebrated Valentine's Day. So in that area of celebration, we had now Kenyan women or Kenyans are gathering together and remembering those women we lost to femicides. And also later on we shall be getting to see why is France revoking birthright citizenship in Mayotte. Remember, Mayotte is somewhere close to Madagascar, so you'll find a lot of black people over there. So we shall be getting to see why is France revoking a birthright citizenship in Mayotte. And those are the different things we shall be talking on about today's episode. Remember to keep it interactive with me. Remember to share your thoughts on what you feel about the story of Russia and China clashing with the US and the UK over attacks on the Houthi fighters, because that is the main discussion of the day. What do you think about this? How is this going to end? Or do you think that now China and Russia are going to be silenced by the UK and the US and continue and see the US continuing attacking the Houthi fighters on the Red Sea? Let's see what is going to happen, and let's see how long this is going to take. But anyway, karibuni sana once again, and just like I told you, we started off our show with an amazing jam. That was Omale, and the jam was the reasons. And I'm hoping to go back to one more jam to get back with our quote of the day. So in case you're there, you have a quote of the day that you'd love to share with us, kindly feel free to interact with me. Remember, we always have an active WhatsApp number, 0705 428 388. In case you're on TikTok and you're new here, make sure you're following the host. And in case you're not tapping the screen, please make sure you're tapping the screen. And also, in case you have some news you'd love to share with us, it's okay. The news is welcome. But anyway, let's go back to one more jam. and get to come back here with our quote of the day. This is Sauti Sol. The jam is a Nishike. Get to enjoy this one and remember to come back with your quote of the day.
Turn off the
Lights, pretty baby.
put on some makeup.
King Lawson.
Turn down the noise.
Pretty darling. Let me some Sauti Sol. Nimeshikana mahanjam zani panda mahanjam.
Let me whisper in your ear. Baby, get me right and clear.
Ooh, nikushike baby. Nikushike. Until you say I. Until you say I. My quote of the day says, "You don't grow when you are comfortable." Yes, it is only when you move out of your comfort zone that is when you get to grow. You don't grow when you are comfortable.
It's me and you. Baby, let's get in the mood. Hey, you with the little smile. I wanna see the light just shining in your eyes.
Right.
You know what to do.
Washa mishuma.
Nishamsuka baby, sasa twende kazi.
Baby, nishike baby. Yeah. Until you say I wanna hold you tighter and sweeter.
Let's make love tonight.
I wanna kiss you tender and deeper.
Consolidated masterpiece and all the way to Switzerland. And you tuning into
Let's make love
the
tonight.
Black Fire Radio. And you're listening to African Diary Show with Patty.
La 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 la. Yes, welcome back to the African Diary Show. That was Sauti Sol. The jam is a Nishike. I hope you did get to enjoy that jam over there. I see General Mosquito is asking, who gave you permission to sing? I gave myself the permission. Jerome Mosquito, what's wrong with you? Shout out to Sinza Music. I see you in the building. Karibu sana. Acheska Generali, I see you as well in the building. We have user John Muli. I see you in the building. Karibu sana. Lawrence Mwendwa and Mr. Blackout Fire. I see you all in the building. Karibuni sana. Thank you very much for tapping the screen, and also make sure that you are conversating with me. I see Sinza Music is asking, can I request a song, please? Not at this hour. This is actually a talk show, so I'll not be able to play your music because I'm live on YouTube. But you can come early tomorrow in the morning from 8 a.m. to 12 noon, and you can be able to request any song of your preference. But anyway, Karibu sana, and thank you very much for joining us. So on today's episode, just like I told you, we shall be talking about different matters, of course, happening in Africa. And the main focus of the day is about Russia and China clashing with the US and the UK over attacks on the Houthi fighter strikes on the Red Sea ships. And that is our main focus of the day. And we we are going to talk about this after this video. After I share this video is showing this is talking about Bill Cosby trying to warn how white supremacy hides black history from Africans. So I want us to listen to this video, since this month is the Black History Month. And somebody told me, some time back, I posted Happy Black History Month on my status, and somebody told me, but this doesn't apply to us as Africans. And I was like, why do you think so? He said that because it originated in the US, this applies for only Africans in the US or African Americans. And I was like, okay. But anyway, at the end of the day, I'm proud to be African. But anyway, it's okay. So I want us to watch this video. This video, just like I said, it's talking about Bill Cosby trying to warn how white supremacy hides black history from us. And if you know the story or the history of African people, you know very well we don't have the real history that we need as African people. We've not been taught about the real history. When you go to the history books in schools, especially in high school and primary schools, you'll find a lot of lies in those history books. The history that we really need is not what we actually being taught in those books. A lot of history that we are supposed to be knowing is actually hidden from us, and thus this is why I wanted us to listen to this video and get to know how white supremacy has hidden a lot of black history, because they don't want us to know our history. They don't want us to talk about African history, and they don't want us to know how powerful they are. So the only thing they could use is white supremacy, or is their supremacy against or over us, to make sure that we are not able to know our history as a black people. But anyway, here is my video. To all those who are with me on TikTok, you can just listen to the audio. It's very audible on your side. To all those who are with me on YouTube, you can just watch the video and listen to it. And listening is the best thing, because I just want you to listen to it. The visuals are not important. So in case you are on TikTok, don't feel like you're missing out on watching the video, or you can just come to YouTube. I'm actually live on YouTube at Black Hot Fire Network, or on Key the Newsam, and also I'm live on Facebook at Black Hot Fire Network. But anyway, let's go straight to the video without wasting less of the time we have right here, so that we get to conversate on it.
So, a few people recognize Bill Cosby as a comedian, an actor, and a media personality, but a majority will recognize him for a different reason than what I'm about to say. What if I told you Bill Cosby had tried to warn us about white supremacy and their efforts to try and keep much of their Black and African history hidden? Would you believe me? In this clip, we take a look at Bill Cosby giving not one but 9 examples of where the Black history was suppressed in America. Let's take a look at this.
Now, what's the whitest thing you know? Whiter than the driven snow, whiter than the whites of your eyes? Sugar. Non-integrated, non-black, sweet sugar. But you see, there is a black man in your sugar. His name is Norbert Rillier. Norbert Rillier in 1846 invented a vacuum pan that revolutionized the sugar refining industry. Now, you have to dig to find that fact. I mean, it's not much history, but it's still history.
It's actually history. We are not taught about, or we are not told how our people invented things. We are actually told that actually the things that were invented by black people, they are all in the European museums. Go to the UK, go to the US, you'll find all our artifacts in their museum, and you're like, oh, so the white man was this powerful, so the white man was this brilliant, he could invent things. But little do you know that these are things invented by the black man.
Now, what do you stand in? In your shoes. Now,
Damn, it's so hot in here.
There's just you and your shoes, isn't it? Nope. See, there's a black man standing in your Oxfords with you. Sharing your soul and your heel is a man, his name is Jan Ernst Metzelliger. And in 1863, this is a drawing by the kids, Metzelliger invented the machine that made mass-produced shoes possible. Now, you have to dig around for that fact, too. And again, it's not much history, but it's history.
Real history.
Am I coming in clear to California? I mean, is this TV signal driving through a pass in the Sierra Nevada mountains and slipping into San Francisco? Okay, well, I want to thank you, Jim Beckworth. Jim Beckworth, out of St. Louis, hunter, trapper, and honorary chief of the Crow tribe of Indians. We had trouble finding you, Jim. Though you helped open the West, you didn't make the books. Chicago, right here, where the Wrigley building is. Young fellow by the name of Jean-Baptiste de Save. Jean-Baptiste, he founded you, Chicago, when he traded with the Indians. And of course, there it is right there at that particular time. It was called Chicago or Stinking Onion by the Indians. And de Save, he didn't even change the name at all. Now you take the Lewis and Clark expedition here, right in there. You'll find a black man named York helping to open the West. Those men are trying to wash the black out of York. That's what you might call historically significant, because a lot of people think we ought to wash white, but we ain't gonna, you see. Texas. Coming to you, Texas, right down the Chisholm Trail, right here. Right down there with 5,000 black cowboys who never made it to the Hollywood Western. Did you know that? Huh? In this same group, there was one black outlaw. His name was Deadwood Dick, who claimed his soul brothers were Bat Masterson.
I don't think so, kid. You're saying TikTok is censoring your comments on black inventions. Of course, the word white and black in the same sentence, they would definitely do that. So you're not trying to get your account blocked. If you use the word white with black in the same sentence, of course they would do that. Remember, these people who are monitoring us on TikTok are not black people. So
and just Deadwood Dick used to ride into the saloon, order 2 drinks, one for himself and one for his horse. And here's drinking a shot of red eye with a straw. And how about the 186,000 blacks who fought on the Union side during the Civil War? 38,000 died. How about Teddy Roosevelt's charge up San Juan Hill? It wasn't just the Rough Riders who made it. 4 black regiments went right up with Teddy.
Shout out to
they didn't get lost going up the hill.
Thank you very much for joining us on YouTube, and Karibu Sana.
In
case you're wondering what we're talking about, I'm sharing a video of Bill Cosby trying to warn how white supremacy hides a black history. And we clearly know that white supremacy has hidden a lot of black history from us. And, this is a very old video. And this is why I saw it and I thought, now I should share it, because we've been hidden or we've been kept away from so much truth, and of which we think it's not actually the truth. Somebody told me, you've written a lot of conspiracies book, and I was like, nah, that is the truth. This is the truth that you need to look for. But at the end of the day, you can't force people to believe what you believe or to know what you know.
In the history books. How about the North Pole? Snow White? Well, the first man there was black, Matthew Henson. He spoke Eskimo. And he was Admiral Perry's navigator. And although he made it first to the pole, it never quite made it to the history books. And how about your heart? Can we get there? All right. Daniel Hale Williams first performed open heart surgery successfully. Now, this list could go on forever. Blacks who made it, blacks who made history, but who didn't get into the history text at all. And the strange thing is how little there is about us in the textbooks. Napoleon once said history is a fable agreed upon, and the fable agreed upon up to now is that American history is white on white.
Black Visa is saying, and now Cosbill has Cosby has been named or labeled as a pedophile. And most of the time you'll find this happening to the people who always speak out the truth. But I don't know if he's really a pedophile, because we've seen a lot of morons also on this limelight. So I actually don't know, but you know, it 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 would be something just because he talked about the real African history. But I see Kid is saying the cell phone, the internet, the fast airplane, and the car, the traffic light, the toilet, and not to mention, yeah, we have a lot was invented by the black man, but you can see how the white supremacy has been used to hide black history from us. And you know we just think, even if we read this from books, sometimes we have people who think that this is conspiracies, or this is just a theory we're trying to come up with to prove how powerful black people are. But we are actually powerful. But I see Kid is saying, yeah, they lied on Bill Cosby. Yeah, they would do anything to terminate your reputation just because you talked about something that people need to know. And we've seen this actually so many times when it comes to people on the limelight, especially if you're passing the right information to your fellow African people. They don't want that, and of course they don't want us to know our real history. So this is why they'll keep on putting on crimes for these people, and now relying on them and labeling them with different and crazy names. But I see Kid is saying, wow, conspiracy theories. No, this is the truth about who invented what. I know very much. I know that very well. But we have people who think that these are conspiracy theories. But I see Steppers is saying, lighter, they fucking tried. Oh shit! I'm sorry, I read that. They tried to frame MJ. Yeah, they do that all the time. They will do that all the time. But I see Ansankenwan. Hello to you too, Ansankenwan. Karibu sana. You finally landed to Katie Land, and Asante sana. Shout out to Frida's Media as well. Alum Zaga, I see you in the building. Karibu sana. Make sure you're tapping the screen, interact with me, and do let me know what you think about this. In case you're just joining, we are talking about Bill Cosby trying to warn how white supremacy has hidden a lot of black history. Yes.
Sometimes we did get into the history books. All wrong. Now you take this one. The Growth of the American Republic, 1942 edition. Samuel Eliot Merson, Henry Steele Commager. Quote, as for. This has to do with slavery. As for Sambo, Professor Morrison, Sambo, Professor Commager. As for Sambo, whose wrongs moved the abolitionists to wrath and tears, there is some reason to believe that he suffered less than any other class in the South from its peculiar institution. Peculiar institution means slavery. Although brought to America by force, the incurably optimistic Negro soon became attached to the country and devoted to his white folks. Unquote. Those lines were written by two Pulitzer Prize-winning white Northern professors. Slavery. That's the place everybody likes to start Negro history. You have ignorant black men being brought over from Africa in chains. Terrible thing, slavery. But this way slavery is taught, it sort of takes the sting out of it. Because the way it's usually taught, people think that we Afro-Americans started with nothing but little grass skirts like the kids in the Tarzan movies. And though America gave us slavery, America kindly gave us religion and a lick or two of education. And when we get more jobs and more education, up from slavery. But, we had something before we left Africa, something more than rhythm. I mean, we had a high culture, culture was so high that great artists in the world are still borrowing from it. Now, here's a sculpture by an unknown African artist. And here's what Paul Klee took from him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's a work by an unknown black African. And Pablo Picasso liked what he saw.
And they all take them and label them theirs, and they keep them in their museums. And when you go to those museums, you'll pay. You'll have to pay to watch what your ancestors made. You know, if this was in my country and I'm made to pay, I don't have a problem. But now you'll go to their museums where they stole. These are actually stolen artifacts that they have kept in their museums, but you're made to pay for them. But I'm glad that they are running them to Africa. But you know, you can't trust these people. Maybe this is a duplicate. Maybe it's just a counterfeit of it. You know, maybe it's just a photocopy of it. You know, so they will never give back stolen goods. I agree with you, Ephron. They will never. You can't trust them. If they tell you that we're returning the stolen artifact, just make sure that this is the original one. But you're not even going to be sure, because some of us never seen it. Some of us never touched it. So you're not even going to be sure that this is the original artifact that they stole. But anyway, let me go through the comments real quick. I see Steppers is asking, where is the world boss? And also I see Kid is saying the gas mask, the refrigerator and refrigerator trucks to ship goods across a long distance to keep them fresh. Also, I see Ephron is saying, well done, teach these people. Thank you very much. I also see you saying, we don't fix you. We will come and control us more this time around. Very true. And also I see Kid is saying most all inventions were created by us. That's a fact. Very true. I also see Stephens is saying Leaky family discovered enough shaking my I know very well, but Efron is saying they got gold in a bank from Africa. Once they give back or clear the debts, of course they wouldn't they wouldn't do that. You know, I realize that now our gold is actually used in their bank reserves. So they wouldn't, if they give back the gold. These people are bankrupt. They are nothing without us. So they wouldn't give that gold back willingly. They would never do that, because their economy depends on Africa. They run their economy using us. If it weren't for us, if it weren't for Africa, these people would be nothing. But I see Kid is saying, exactly, they will never give back what they stole. They already told you that. Exactly. So this is why I'm telling you, don't trust these people whenever they are telling you that we are returning the stolen artifact. That's a very, very big lie. That's the lie of the year or of the century that you're not supposed to be listening to. But I see Ephron is saying also TikTok being used in Africa is not the right one. So we don't make money from TikTok. Actually, I've seen a few people makes money from TikTok, but if you're talking about such things, you will not make any money. You'll not make any money because they don't want you to get the information. They don't want you to get the information to the young people or to the African people. So they will not give you a platform where you can make money. But I see also you're saying, Kid is saying, damn Katie, you just figured that out. Yes, that's your gold in their bank. Of course, it is our gold. These people don't have, all they have is stones in their country. They don't have minerals yet. They have reserves that have gold. But I see Steppers is saying at the same time they are turning us against you as primitivists. I don't understand that word, but you can explain to me, please. I see Ephron is saying it is not European one. Then no, yeah. But anyway, let's continue with this video. It is we have 2 minutes to the end of it, so let's just finish it up and then we can head to the next conversation.
Another African design, and Modigliani swiped it, or he was influenced by it, or whatever politics. Another black African artist, and Picasso didn't change it very much. I mean, when you look at this copying, you got to give us a little more than rhythm. You got to give us style. Now, if you tell the history of state, you got a big problem on your hands. The slave trader didn't take some savage out of Africa. He took a human being. He sold him like an animal and separated him from his family. America invented the cruelest slavery in the history of the world. It broke up black families. After slavery was over, America kept breaking up the black man's family. Well, history to teach. Now, if you want to look history right straight in the eye, you're going to get a black eye. Because it isn't important whether a few black heroes got lost or stolen or strayed in America's history textbooks. What's important is why they got left out. Now, this country has got a psychological history. There was a master race, there was a slave race. And though there isn't any political slavery anymore, those same old attitudes have hung around.
Now, that sums it up for this video. Did you like?
Okay, that's the video I really wanted to share with you guys. I hope you have enjoyed the video, and also to all those who didn't know something, I hope you've gained something from that video. But as we get to continue, before we head to the next conversation, as Steppers is saying, us against us, out of our primitivity. And also I see Efren is saying, yet they can't control their own lazy people. Of course they wouldn't do that. And also you're saying most of them are lazy. We others are the one who have made their country rich. And exactly, look at the USA. Black people were the first people to civilize the US, and they actually built that country for them, or that continent for them, because look at these people. They were being used as forced labor. They were being used as forced labor, so they can't say that they built that country. It was black people who built America for them. It was the black people. But anyway, family, I want us to head to another different conversation. And remember, remember the main conversation of the day. And I actually want us to head to the main conversation of the day. Time might run out, and we might not be able to speak about the main conversation of the day. So before time runs out on us, let's head to the main conversation of the day. And the conversation of the day is about Russia and China clashing with the US and the UK over attacks on the Houthi fighters' strikes on the Red Sea ships. So, what is really happening is that now Russia and China are angry with the US and the UK attacking the Houthi fighters. It was last week I told you that the US and the UK launched an offensive to the Houthi fighters on the Red Sea. Yes, and we saw them attacking them. And right now we still have the attacks still going on. But don't forget that now the Houthi fighters on this side, or in this war, I'm on the Houthis' side. I don't care as them saying that I'm supporting the rebels, because always it is the good part being called the terrorists. You know, they even called the Houthi fighters the rebel group. And on this side, we know very well that the Houthi fighters, they are doing the good thing or the best thing. These people, they were told, stop attacking innocent people, but they wouldn't. But right now, when these people are trying to revenge, now they become terrorists. But when these people were killing innocent lives or are killing innocent people, this wasn't terrorism. But when the Houthis decide to take revenge on that, now it becomes terrorism. So what is happening right now? Russia and China is angry with the US and the UK over the attacks. or over the offensives that were launched last week on the Houthi fighters on the Red Sea. And remember very well, the Houthis are trying to revenge on the innocent lives that were taken by the Israeli. So what is really gonna happen? Because right now we've seen the UK, the US is on the side of Israel, right? We also have now the Russia and China. They are on the side of the Houthis. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? Because I think now the war will become bigger. But you guys, what do you think is going to happen? But Russia and China on Wednesday accused the United States and Britain for illegally attacking military sites used by Yemen's Houthi rebels to launch missiles at commercial vessels in the Red Sea, disrupting global shipping. U.S. Deputy Ambassador Robert Wood and UK Ambassador Barbara Woodward countered the Houthi attacks are illegal and they are proportionate and legal action against the Yemen rebels are being taken in self-defense. So, okay, this is self-defense, but also the Houthis are defending innocent lives. So, okay, yours is not a crime. Whatever the Houthis are doing is the crime, but yours is not a crime. Okay? Woodward said the Houthi attacks are driving up the cost of global shipping and the cost of food supplies and humanitarian aid in the region is needed. But Russia's deputy UN ambassador Dmitry Polyansky and China's UN envoy Zhang Jiang argued that the UN Security Council never authorized military action against Yemen. So that is what is happening. The clashes came at a council meeting where UN Special Envoy for Yemen Hans Grandeberg said promising efforts to restore peace to Yemen have been slowed by rising regional tensions like the linked to the war in Gaza, and particular the military escalation in the Red Sea. So what is really going to happen? Because I'm seeing right now we have different groups that don't understand each other. And remember, we all know that, we all know that now China is a country that was made up by the US. So I'm even wondering, aren't they afraid to argue with their bosses? At least Russia can have their say on this. But China, China, and why China is being affected? Because we've had their companies being not able to ship their goods or their products to wherever they are supposed to be going. But I don't think they have any say on this. But at least Russia can talk about this. Russia can talk about this and they can be angry as much as they want. But China doesn't have a say. China is a very big country. It's a very small country without no military. So I'm even wondering, how are they able to argue about this? But anyway, I see, let me go through the comments before we get to continue. I see Efron is saying we was fighting in World War frontline, but they don't talk about that. Of course, they don't talk about that. And also, I see Mike Q. I see you in the building, Karibu Sana. I see Steppers is saying Nyerere once said Kenya is a man-eater, man country, but I love the Ujami is still in TZ bonds. Ujami is not in Kenya, man, but Ujami is in Tanzania. But I see Kid is saying exactly 100%, Katie. They are trying to stop a genocide. But when they are trying to stop a genocide, they are being called terrorists. Yet, we know who the real terrorists are. We know who have been conducting all these genocides are the real terrorists, but nobody is willing to say that, no, these people are just trying to stop the genocide and the killing of the innocent people. But I see Efron is saying these people blow up their own country and blame others. We need to wake up. Which people are you talking about, Efron? And also, I see Steppers is saying the TZ will overtake us soon out of the independent ideology. I don't think they have a very big puppet of the West, so I don't think so. I don't think that is going to happen. But shout out to Efron is saying Jews have a lot of investment in UK and USA. Remember, do you think that the Houthis are Jews? Or what is your argument? And also I see Efron is saying they killed African leaders, but they not bad people. Of course they can do that all the time. They'll kill whomever they want, but they are not bad people. But now when we have people who are trying to stop them from killing innocent people, now those who are trying to stop them becomes the bad people in the picture. But I see Kid is saying, sadly, Katie, nothing is going to happen. China is a weak country that is collapsing that it's collapsing economy. And also I see Kid is saying China isn't real military power, Katie, it's a paper tiger. Okay. And also you're saying exactly, we know who's the real terrorists are. We know. And also you're saying no, he's saying Israel are Jewish people, Katie. Oh, okay, I understand what he says. But anyway, back to the conversation. Asking, what do you guys think is going to happen? At least, okay, we can get China out of the list, but let's argue with Russia. You know, we can get China out of the list because China might also being used by the US to act like they are being on the Houthis for a minute. But the Russians, do you think that do you think that war is going to escalate on the Red Sea and a lot of now shipping is going to stop? Or what is going to happen? And since November, the Houthi rebels have targeted ships in the Red Sea to demand a ceasefire in Israel offensive in Gaza. They have frequently attacked vessels with tenures or not clear links to Israel, traveling shipping in a key route for trade. Okay, Asia, the Middle East, and Europe. And since November, okay, sorry. Since November, the Houthi rebels have targeted ships in the Red Sea to demand a ceasefire in Israel's offensive in Gaza. They have frequently attacked vessels with tenures or no clear links to Israel, imperiling shipping in a key route for trade among Asia and the Middle East and Europe. In recent weeks, the United States and the UK, or the United Kingdom, backed by other allies, have launched airstrikes targeting Houthi missile arsenals and launch sites for its attacks. And Wood, the U.S. envoy, said American strikes in response to attacks on the U.S. naval vessel aim to disrupt and degrade the Houthis' ability to continue their reckless attacks against vessels and commercial shipping in the Red Sea, the Bab al-Mandeb Strait, and the Gulf of Aden. The more I was talking about this last week. We had those attacks that we're talking about, the offensive that were launched by the US and the UK. And you know what happened? I was talking about something that happened to the Houthi fighters was it in 2011 or 2018 where they attacked somewhere and they were attacked, and instead of becoming weak, these people became stronger. So you think you're going to fish them by launching airstrikes? By launching an offensive, these people are going to become stronger. Remember right here, these people are like, we have nothing else to lose. We've lost everything to you guys, but you still want to, think that we have anything to lose. We are fighting for their lives. You are killing in Gaza. And this is just crazy. I feel like the war is going to escalate. The war is continuing to grow. And by the time we're going to realize this, the Red Sea would be a very big field for war, or would be a very big war field. This is what I think, but you guys can share your thoughts on what you think. I see Kid is saying Russia has a real military, Katie, but they may not have the money. Okay, they may not have the money to do anything to stop the United. I don't think so. They may not have the money, but they have weapons to offer the Houthis. Remember, the Houthis didn't even require amounts of money or huge amounts of money. They just required a very good strategy. They just required a very good plan. And then that was it. They launched an attack. And it's happening. So I don't think all you need is money. With the right firearms, with the right weaponry, I think these people are going to conquer the Israel and the US and the UK. But also they might get defeated because right now China is a pretender. China is actually pretending to care about what is happening to the Houthis, but we know very well these people might not be caring. You know, they might be. They're just pretending because they want their ships to cross to get wherever they are shipping their goods to. So at the end of the day, you'll find that the only people or the only allies maybe the Houthis have is Russia and maybe a few countries. But at the end of the day, what is going to happen? Do you think that the war will end, or do you think that the war will escalate? And my view is that the war will escalate. I don't see this war coming to a stop. I don't see the Houthis trying to give up. I don't see them trying to give up. But I see Stephens is saying, whoever knew during the Second World War gas masks were in plenty enough to serve the entire UK? Whoever knew during the Second World War gas masks were in plenty enough to serve the entire UK? I didn't know. Who knew that? I don't know if these people knew about that, but I didn't know about that. But anyway, still on the same conversation. Okay, since 2014, he said Iran has provided the Houthis with a growing arsenal of advanced weapons that they have used to target commercial ships, and Iran cannot deny its role in enabling and supporting attacks carried out by the Houthis, and would accuse the Houthis of trying to apply a chokehold on global shipping through the Red Sea, and urged all countries, especially those to press Iran's leaders to rein in Houthis and stop these lawless attacks. So these attacks are while people are dying in Gaza. Man, this know that these people are just inhumane. So we have people who are trying to stop the attacks in Gaza and killing of innocent people, but when you try to do that, that is illegal. And that is lawless. But we have now the big fish trying to kill innocent people, of which that is unlawless. That is actually good. It's according to the law. That is what they are trying to mean to us, or that is what they are trying to tell us. This is just crazy, and this is now how the world works. In case you're trying to do the best thing, you're the terrorist. Yes, you become the criminal. In case you're trying to serve justice to someone or give the justice to someone, you're the criminal right here. Yes, in case you're trying to be good in the country, you're trying to act right, you're the criminal here. But whoever is acting wrong is the good person, becomes the good person. And sadly, that is how life is. It's just crazy, man. You can't do the right thing just because you'll have the entire world being your enemy. The entire world calling you a terrorist. It's crazy. But Russia, Polyansky stressed that Moscow categorically condemns attacks and seizures of commercial vessels and any attacks which impede freedom of navigation. He said Russia has conveyed messages to the Houthi leaders focused on Yemen's domestic agenda and pursue a peace. Brandenburg, the UN envoy, said that in late December, the Houthis who controlled the capital and much of the country's north and Yemen's internationally recognized government committed to a nationwide ceasefire. Measures to improve living conditions and restarting an intra-Yemeni political process. But he said Yemen's peace process off from the events in US and the UK, attacks on the Houthi targets, and the US designation of the Houthis are specially designated terrorist group are concerning. Despite potential complication, my work will continue no matter what, he said. It is therefore imperative that we protect the political space, that communication channels are kept open, and that all actors remain actively engaged with my efforts. Russia's Polyansky said the root cause of the current situation is Israel's military offensive in Gaza following Hamas' surprise attack in southern Israel on October 7th, which has provoked a chain reaction in the Middle East, including by the Houthis. An immediate ceasefire in Gaza will help to stabilize the situation in the Red Sea, and the de-escalation in those waters will turn and block and the efforts of the special envoy, Polyansky said. And Yemen civil war began in 2014 when the Houthis swept down from their northern stronghold and chased the internationally the internationally stabilized government from Sana'a. Okay, I was that. Yemen civil war began in 2014 when the Houthis swept down from their northern stronghold and chased the internationally recognized government from Sana'a. A Saudi-led coalition intervened the following year on behalf of the government, and time the conflict turned out a proxy war between Saudi Arabia and Iran. That is what is really happening. And it's just crazy. But I see her. I see Super Tunda is saying good evening everyone, good evening to you too. And I see Kid is saying up is down and down is up, Katie. Very true. And also I see Steppers is saying it is a small world, just do good. But when you're doing good, you're actually the one on the wrong. But I see also Kid is saying, which was a false flag, Katie? October the 7th, meaning they did it. Of course they did it. What do you mean, meaning they did it? They did it. And the kid is saying, yes, a Saudi puppet government, they tried to install in Yemen. It's just crazy. And the war has devastated Yemen already, the Arab region's poorest country, and created one of the world's worst humanitarian disasters. Edem Wasonu, the UN Humanitarian Office Director of Operations, told the council that Yemen faces massive continuing needs. This year, she said, over 18 million people, over half of the country's population, will need humanitarian aid. Last year, the UN received just 40% of its $4.3 billion humanitarian appeal, she said. This year, the Yemen appeal is more targeted to seek $2.7 billion to reach 11.2 million people across Yemen. That is what is happening. But if you look at Yemen, Yemen has been destabilized just like the way we have had African countries being destabilized. And the reason they are being destabilized is because we have the Yemen led or the Yemen funded Houthi fighters. So at the end of the day, you've realized that whenever somebody is trying to do good in this dirty world, you become the terrorist. But all in all, in this war, I stand with the Houthis because these are the people doing the right thing, and they want them stop doing this, stop killing innocent people, but they didn't want to listen because they thought they controlled the world. And right now, on to them. Right now, the, what they thought would never happen is actually happening, right? So it's just crazy, but at the end of the day, I stand with the Houthis. And the only thing I'm standing, or the only reason I'm standing with these people, it's just because they are fighting for innocent lives, of which I know they are not African people, but at the end of the day, they are doing the right thing. Everybody stood watching on these people doing and conducting a genocide on innocent lives, including children who don't even understand what is happening. But nobody talked about this. The Houthis came and told them, stop it, while nobody was talking. And right now, the Houthis are upstanding again, saying no to this and actually revenging on what is happening. But they become the bad person right here. But anyway, family, I hope you've understood what is really happening, and I hope you understood why Russia and China is clashing with the US and the UK over attacks on the Houthi fighters strikes on the Red Sea. But anyway, family, we are coming to the end of our show for today. Asanteni sana for keeping the Blackout Fire Network. Shout out to all those who are with me on TikTok, to all those who are with me on YouTube, to all those who are with me on the radio station. I hope you have enjoyed the conversation of the day. I hope you have enjoyed the show for today, and also I hope you join us later in the streets of Rongai. It's very hot right here, man. I'm sweating, but we shall be able to do it, But I say Kid is saying exactly 100%, Katie. They told them to stop it. Yes, they told them to stop it, but they were not willing to stop. So let them enjoy the fruits of their labor. But anyway, family, hope to see you later in the streets of Rongai. And also remember to stay safe and also take care.
Greetings and salutations, Master Alexander Robinson, all the way in Switzerland. And you tune into the Black Fire Radio. And you're listening to our show with Cathy. Massive.
Play me some Southie soul. Nimeshikwa na mahanja mzanipanda mahanja. Let me whisper in your ear, baby, get me right and clear. Until you say hi. I wanna make you say hi.